Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this is the video where I'm going to predict what I think is going to happen in Bundesliga for the season 25-26. I am late about a week because I've been traveling for work and whatnot, and I was not able to make a video and edit it last week. So we are going to do it today before the game week 2 starts. So let's go ahead and make our predictions for the season 25-26. Starting at number 18, I think it is going to be Heidenheim. Unfortunately for them, I mean, they barely survived relegation last year, playing that relegation promotion player final, and they won that game. But to be very honest with you, their transfer business has not been that good. They've just made 2 loan signings, and apart from that, nobody has really come in. They have not really strengthened the squad. It was already quite a weak squad last year, and as I said, they have not really strengthened it. And the teams around them, even the 2 teams who have come from a League 2, they have not really they have strengthened much more, and they've had a better transfer window as compared to Heidenheim. And I think for me, it is in fact, I think it is going to be quite comfortably that Heidenheim are going to finish 18th, and they are going to get relegated this year. Then from 17, 16, 15, these 3 places are quite interchangeable. I would not be surprised, all these 3 teams that I have put in these 3 positions could interchange and could finish anywhere they wanted. It is St. Pauli, Hoffenheim and FC Köln, but at the moment I'm going at 17th with St. Pauli. I like the club. I think they had a really good season last year coming back into Bundesliga, but to be very honest with you, they they have not really done that much in the transfer window. They were the only team that did not score more than 30 goals last year, and on top of that, they have lost Aguiligi and Elias. Both of them have left the club, and the fact that they contributed about 35% of their goals, and the fact that they scored only 28 goals in their entire campaign, and they're losing their most 2 of their most important goal scorers in the summer transfer window and not replacing them, I think that is going to be a big problem, and I think that's the only reason I put them at the moment at 17. I think they are going to give it a real fight, but that problem of not scoring goal, and on top of that losing 2 important players, I think that is going to come back to bite them. And unfortunately for St. Pauli, I think they are going to get relegated by finishing as 17th this year. Number 16, I have gone with Hoffenheim. I mean, they barely survived last year as well. They would have either been relegated, or even they could have gone to that relegation promotion place as well. But they somehow survived. But their transfer business has been really poor. And on top of that, they have lost Alexander Bash as well. And as I said, their recruitment has not been that eye-catching. I think they are going to suffer. And as I said before, they could end up at 17th position as well. But at the moment, I'm just because I think they are still somehow going to end up scoring. I think their transfer business has been a bit better as compared to St. Pauli. That is why I have them at 16th, and they are going to have to play that relegation promotion playoff game. At 15th, as you see, I've not had any of the promoted clubs in the bottom 3. But I think FC Köln are going to be the one that might end up struggling. They are sort of known as the yo-yo club, so even though they won Bundesliga 2 last year, there is a possibility that they could go straight back down. I think they are going to have a really tough season. Their transfer window again has not been that good, and on top of that, they've lost both Damien Dowds and Emilian Perle. Both of them scored about 10 goals apiece last year for them, so scoring those goals is going to be a big problem for Köln as well. And again, as I said, they could end up finishing 16th or 17th. At these 3 places are interchangeable, but at the moment, just because of that, the celebration and the joyous mood that they are going to have coming up by winning the Bundesliga 2, I'm putting FC Köln on 15th. 14th, I have gone with another promoted team in Hamburger. They were amazing last season. They finished 2nd behind FC Köln last season, but they they looked really good, and the way that they played, I think it is going to be much better for them in Bundesliga as compared to the team that won the league last year. Their transfer business has been really good, and they've managed to keep both David Schelke and Rensburg Kunstreifel, and with both of them, they are going to score goals. And with the way that they play, free-flowing attacking football, I think it's going to be really good. And they have gone out and they have brought experienced players in, Nikolai Ramberg. They have brought in as well as Yusuf Poulsen as well. So they have that mix of the players that brought them up, and then they've gone out and they've strengthened the squad, bringing in those experienced players who have played in Bundesliga before to help the squad and navigate that first season. I think they are. I don't think they are going to really go ahead and try to finish in the top 10, but I don't think they are going to be in that relegation battle. I think they are going to be safely mid-table. I think they are not going to have that much of a problem, and they are going to finish quite comfortably at 14th. Number 13th, I've gone with Union Berlin. They finished last season at 13th as well, so there's not going to be that much progress if I'm being very honest with you. Their transfer business has not been that good. I mean, they has not made the fans that excited. They have permanently signed Andre Illich from Lille, and then Woo Young-jung from Stuttgart has come in permanently as well. But then they have gone ahead and they have lost Benedikt Hollerberg, who has gone to Mainz, and they have not really replaced them. And I think that could turn out to be a problem for them. Again, I don't think there's going to be that much of an exciting season for Union Berlin, unfortunately. And as I said, I think they are going to finish mid-table on that 13th position. At 12th, I'm going with Augsburg. They finished last year 12th as well, so I think they are going to be there as well. They have a new manager in Sandro Wagner, and even though they have brought in about 8 or 9 new players, I think because they have so many new players have come in, they are going to take some time, to get to know each other, to get gel together, and to understand the system that the new manager wants to play as well. And I think that is why they are going to end up finishing in those mid-table places. And I think they have a much better squad as compared to Union Berlin. That's why I have put them at number 12. Number 11th, I'm going with Wolfsburg. They had a really bad end to the season, and even though they have a new manager in Paul Simonis, and they would hope that he can somehow take them into the top 10, I just don't see it happening. Their squad lacks that X factor, somebody that can really come up and change the game on his own. And even though they have signed Mohamed Amora permanently, I still think they lack that. And I think at the best they can really hope is for 11th. Again, this 11, 12, 13. Again, I would not be surprised if these three teams end up changing their position. But at the moment, I think Wolfsburg are gonna end up at 11th. Number 10, and this is going to be a bit surprising, I've gone with Mainz. I mean, they had an amazing season last year, qualifying for the Conference League and whatnot, but their transfer window has not been that good. They have lost their main striker, Jonathan Bergatti. I mean, he scored about 18 goals last year, and even though they have brought in Hollerbeck in order to replace them, I still think they are going to suffer. I think they are going to have problems with scoring the goals, and the fact that they are going to play those Thursday, Sunday games, that is going to take a toll on their squad, and I think that is why they are going to face a draw. They might end up going down even further, but I think as comparing to the other things, I think it's a top 10 finish is going to be a good one, and they would like a deeper into the Conference League, and I think that is going to be the main focus of Mainz, to try to get as far as into the Conference League as possible. And I think that is going to have an effect on their league performance, and that is why I think they are going to end up finishing 10th. At number 9, I've gone with Werder Bremen. They finished last season 8th, but I think they are going to have a drop off. Their transfer window has been really quiet, if I'm being very honest with you. And they have brought in Samuel Mbangala from Juventus. I think that's a really smart signing. But if you look and compare their transfer window to the teams around them, I think it is not really up to it. And I think that is why they are going to have a drop off, and they are going to end up finishing, unfortunately, at 9th in the league this year. At number 8, I've gone with Borussia Mönchengladbach. They finished last season at 10th, but because, in my opinion, because of the dreadful end to the season that they had, they lost 4 out of their last 5 games, and that really derailed their campaign. They have managed to keep Tim Kleindienst at the club. He scored 16 goals last season. That was a really good signing for them, and it was important that he stayed at the club. And I think the biggest advantage that they have over the teams around them is the stability and the consistency of the manager. I mean, Sione is going to be at the club for the 3rd year in a row, and I think that is really going to help them. And I think this is going to be the year where they really push and try to get as close to those European places as possible. I think they had a really great chance last year as well, but as I said, the end was really terrible. But I think they are going to make it, try even more harder this year, and try to get try to make sure that they end up qualifying for those European places. I don't think it is going to happen, but I think that is going to be the ultimate goal this year. Number 7, I'm going with RB Leipzig. They had a really terrible season last year, and I think it is going to be the same this year as well. With the start, especially, we saw what happened on match day 1 as well. I just think they are not really there, to be very honest with you. They have lost Benjamin Šeško, who went to Manchester United, and Xavi Simons is all but gone to Chelsea as well. They have brought in Romelu from Turkish League, and Johan Bakayoko has come in from PSV Eindhoven. And even though they have signed Arthur Vermeulen permanently from Atletico Atletico Madrid, I still think they are are quite short as in the squad as compared to the teams above them. And to be very honest with you, the only good thing for Leipzig this year is the expectations are not that much, and I think a seventh place and a much of a bit of a stability for the club is going to be good enough. I think seventh would be a really good season for Leipzig. Number 6 is our quite a tricky one. I've gone with a Freiburg. They finished last year 5th and qualified for the Europa League. And even though they have managed to keep their squad intact, they have ended up losing Ritsu Doan, which I think was a very important and a crucial player to their squad, and I think losing them is a big blow to them. And the fact that they are going to be playing the Europa League again, 3 games in a week, playing that Thursday, Sunday, I think that is going to have an effect on their performances. I don't think they are going to have that much of a big drop as Mainz are going to have, and I think they are going to drop just 1 place below last year, and they might still end up qualified for those for the Conference League, but I think they are going to have a drop in the league this year. Number 5th, I'm going with Stuttgart. They had a bit of a cold season last year in the Bundesliga, if I'm being very honest, but they ended up winning the RBF Pokal, so that was a good end to the season. They have brought in Thiago Thomas and Lorenzo Asensio. I think those are really good, smart signings, if I'm being very honest with you. And even though they have lost, Enzo Milo to Al Ahly, they still have Demirovic, they still have, Botamede, and they have Dennis Ondab, and I think they have a really good squad. And the transfer window that they have had, and the euphoria of winning the cup is still there. I think they are going to have a really good season, and I think they are going to benefit from Freiburg being in the Europa League, and I think they are going to take advantage of that, and I think they are going to finish 5th, and I think it's going to be a very good season for Stuttgart. Number 4, and again this is going to be a bit surprising, I have gone with Bayer Leverkusen. I think they are going to have a drop of this season. They have lost their manager, they have lost their captain, and they have lost important player in Wirtz, in Frimpong, in Adli, in Akasuno. All of them have lost, and even though they have brought in Mark Tillman, they have brought in Quensa, they have brought in Bode, I still think they are going to struggle for those European places, Champions League places. I think it is going to be a really hard fight for those Champions League places, and I will not be surprised if Leverkusen end up going out of the top 4 as well. I think it is going to be a very interesting season for Bayer Leverkusen, but at the moment I'm going with Leverkusen at 4th. At number 3rd, I'm going with Borussia Dortmund. They had a terrible season last year, but they ended up having, on a great run and managed to qualify for the Champions League. And now with Niko Kovac having that full preseason under his belt, and they have brought in Joe Bellingham, and they have signed, made the loan signings that they had last year. They have made those permanent as well. So they have a really good squad and a really good manager. I think Dortmund are going to have a really good season, and they are going to qualify for the Champions League. I don't think they are yet to challenge for the title, but I still think they are going to qualify for the Champions League, and I think this time around it is going to be quite comfortable, not like last year where they had to go on a miraculous run to qualify. I think it's going to be a much better season for Dortmund this year around in the league, and they are going to finish 3rd. Number 2nd, I'm going with Frankfurt. I think they had an amazing season last year, qualifying for the Champions League. And even though they have lost both Marmoush in January and now Ekiteke as well, I think they have spent their money well. They have brought in Jonathan Burgadat, and here they have brought in Ritsudo, and they had about 18 goals combined and about 15 assists combined. So they have let go of 2 good players, and they have brought in really good players, and they have strengthened at the back as well. And with Top Muller at the helm, I think Frankfurt are going to have a really good season. Again, I don't think they are really going to challenge Bayern Munich for the title, but I still think they are going to have a very good season, and they are going to finish as 2nd. At number 1, of course, I think it is going to be Bayern Munich. I think they are going to have a much easier campaign as compared to last year. There were threats of a title challenge from Leverkusen and Frankfurt last year, but I don't think it is going to be a case this year. I think they are miles apart from the rest of the teams this year, and they have added players as well. They have brought in Jonathan Tah at the back. They have brought in Luis Diaz, who already scored in his debut game as well. So, and even though Musiala has gotten injured, I think Bayern Munich are settled, and I think it is Vincent Kompany's 2nd season. And if I'm being very honest with you, I think they are going to win the league quite comfortably. I think their a main goal is going to be towards the Champions League. They want to go back and try to win the Champions League. It has been some years since Bayern has won it, and I think their main focus is going to be towards the Champions League, because I don't think any team is going to stop Bayern Munich from winning the title this year. That is it. These are my predictions for Bundesliga 25-26. As I said, I'm late, a week. But as I said, I was traveling, so these are my predictions. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.